Well, Charlie, you'll be glad to hear that I am safe and still in possession of all my lovely parts, which I recall you enjoyed quite a lot last we met. But as night's events, the later ones anyway, were as inconvenient as they were surprising. Frustrating, really, for my evening had started undoubtedly interesting, meeting our shared child and the other exotic kindred that would be my team of hounds. For Kane's sake, the Camarilla has the most unflattering titles: Hound, Scourge, Harpy. I will definitely have to speak to Marie Claire about revising those if I am to indeed attempt this reform I had planned for so long. It would also be pleasant to make use of my creativity once more instead of overthrowing governments and assassinating rival leaders. Such dirty things to sully my impeccable hands with. But I get sidetracked. Ironic, as I was actually thrown off the track to the side and into the woods. I'll get right to that. It was right after introducing the young ones to the prince, and holy hell, Charlie, you should have seen MC's face when one of them presented herself as a Tzimisce. Oh, and Giorgio was there too. Their reactions were priceless. Imagine, other than our charismatic ballerina, whom you'll be proud to hear made an impeccable impression on her flight over, and whom I can swear it's the prince's new crush. The rest are Greek Malkavian, who was sent here with instructions from her strange sire. Well, they're all bloody strange, are they? A certain Pericles. I would love to know more about him, if you'd be so kind to assist. The other, Banu Haqim, who looked like he had spent his entire life and unlife in a Taliban cave here on Ashira orders, ready to convert or blow himself up or something. And the Fiend, who, I must say, held her ground spectacularly well when stared down by our shiny new prince and her associate. I gave them instructions, and we were on our way back to Bucharest when this black embodiment of rage and destruction, a werewolf, smashed into my Jaguar and made me crash into the woods nearby. Lucky for the young ones, Alex knew not to stop the car, as they were right behind me when it happened, and brushed off their attempts to persuade him to turn back and help me. Unlike certain sires, I keep my ghouls well informed. Well enough at least to know not to feed 4 brave but stupid neonates to a fucking werewolf. As for me, celerity be praised, I managed to leap through the windshield mid-spin a split second before my beautiful car hit a tree and turned into a pile of junk. The landing was not graceful, but the titanic arm that smacked me, sending me flying further into the forest, was even less so. Let me tell you, Charlie, this thing was fast, and by the way it moved and looked, I'm quite sure it was one of those they call Black Furies. And fury she possessed indeed. But I did manage to dodge its sharp claws every time, barely, I must say, as she was incredibly fast. I tried talking to her, hoping I could negotiate a truce, but as we all know, they almost never engage us in that dialogue. I explained my association with the Silver Fangs and even flashed the tattoo Peter told me to get, but it only seemed to piss her off more. I guess they're not on good terms, tribe-wise. In the end, I had to sacrifice my silver lighter. It was a nice memento too, one I would like to recover at some point if I can from those woods, but one I was willing to part with, if only to make that lupine stagger for a second or two, enough to sprint away to safety. I threw it at her with all my strength, and it hit her like a brick to the face of a child. Sorry for that allegory. As I said, I am alright. I made it back to my haven, running as fast as I could, as hidden as I could, though I admit with some fraction of shame and regret in my heart. For my lighter, of course, I mourn its loss, but also because I still cannot figure out a way to converse with lupines. In all honesty, I hold the werewolves no grudge. They are what they are, and they do what they do, and it serves a purpose. Shame we cannot convince them that we are not all the same. I guess prejudice exists within any society, no matter what kind of monster you are. And that's how I spent my night. I hope you are well, Charlie, and your exploits in the Western Hemisphere are as successful as they are exciting. And if you can, do introduce me to the New York's high society. I would love to visit one night. Take care out there.